kúrò ẹ má gbé kúrò kẹ́ ẹ má yí kúrò 89.3 làwa ń gbọ́ ẹ má gbé kúrò ní West Radio ẹ má yí kúrò 89.3 làwa ń gbọ́ Olúyọ̀lé làwa 89.3 làwa ń gbọ́.
West Radio 89.3 FM kànga gbọ́nmágbẹ́.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Top of the morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and thank you for joining us on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state number one family radio station. Good morning. This is Perspectives Unlimited, the program where we take you through the dailies and keeping you updated on stories, happenings, and everything going on in our nation, Nigeria. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Good morning. All right, thank you so much for joining us once again. Perspectives Unlimited is live on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Today is Monday, the 21st of April, 2025. It's public holiday. Today, in our nation, Nigeria, we're celebrating still the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. And of course, today there will be a lot of, camping, hangouts, family moment, societies, churches, groups, we'll be holding, this very popular Galilee, across major location today. Once again, thank you for joining us on the program. We'll talk about that later as we move on the program. But this morning on the program, we have the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, and of course, the Daily Trust newspaper. All of them published, today, Monday, the 21st of April, 2025. Let's start with the Punch newspaper. From the front page, on page 7, emergency, PDP Govs gets Supreme Court hearing date this week. You find that story on page 7 of the Punch. On page 2, presidency pushes back as Bakare Kuka criticize Tinubu's policies. That's also it's on page 2. On page 7, killing Shatima visit Plateau today as Danjuma calls for self-defense. I'd like to, for us to talk about that story and what do we call self-defense. Power crisis, federal government turns to bank for $23 billion lifeline. That's also on page 23. Moving on to page 21 of the Punch, which is the major story this morning on the Punch newspaper. Interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. The writer says how bank profited from lending in 12 months amid economic pressure. All right, and of course, on the front page of the Punch, we have this photo story of Pope Francis during the Easter Mass, and of course, giving blessings to the world as part of the Holy Week celebration at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican yesterday, Sunday. Moving on to page 2, State Police off agenda as NEC meets Thursday. Moving on to page 29, Judgment Analysis Report Me to LPDC, Falano Diaz Wike on page 29. And finally on the Punch, indebted retirees risk losing homes, says the federal government. Now we move to our second daily for today on The Guardian. Baba Ahmed says no Nigerian can be president without the North. That story is on page 3. It's also on the Nigerian Tribune this morning. US gives quit notice to international students with cancelled visas on page 3. On page 30, ACF blames Nigerians' woes on corruption, nepotism, and leadership. You find it on page 30. Now to the major story on The Guardian. Despair in Benue, Plateau, as killings hit over 284 in 3 months. And of course, we have this infographic here on the front page of The Guardian, which says, giving us the map of Nigeria. There's a major spotlight on 3 states here. We have in Plateau with the red mark, in Benue, and we have another one here. I'm trying to get that. This is Borno State. Yes, in Borno we have Boko Haram. In Imo and in Abia, and in the southeast we have the Biafra separatists. And also from Taraba, Benue, and in Plateau, header farmer conflicts. And of course in Oyo, Ondo, Katsina, Kaduna, and Zamfara, we have the armed banditry. And of course in the FCT, we have the police Shiite clash. And in Ogun State, we have cultism, which is a nationwide threat. Anyways, it's just, as though that there is one part of Nigeria with something they are currently dealing with. And I think the major highlight of all of this is that on Friday, a report on the Punch explains that even Benue, the food basket of Nigeria, cannot even feed itself at the moment. It is well. Moving on to page 5, High Cost orders cut 62% off internet access in Nigeria. Orders. How much do you spend on internet data? Oh, wow, I've lost count. Moving on to page 30, Plateau Benue killings may undermine Tinubu 2027 bid, Vasta claims. And on page 7, nation descending into tyranny, 10th National Assembly spinless, says Bakare on page 7. Moving on to page 3, Easter, Khan urges Christians to promote dialogue, reconciliation. And on page 29, Nigeria needs cold chain infrastructure to curb 3.5 trillion naira post-harvest losses. On page 29, and finally, SEC wants bloggers, influencers against promoting unregistered investment. On page 18. Now we go to our final daily before we get straight to in-depth analysis on the Daily Trust newspaper. Bauchi Gov, Foreign Affairs Ministers, rivalry escalates. On page 21, electricity customers owe discos 497 billion naira in 2024. On page 7, flood kills 3, destroy 10,000 hectares of rice farm in Niger. And on page 3, 4, and 5, Nigeria descending into tyranny, says Bakari. ACF Kuka orders decry worsening insecurity. Tinubu determined to do more on security, says presidency. And finally, on page 6, Baba Hamid, from presidential advisor to critic, says Northerners won't vote blindly in 2027. Another writer says he's flirting with opposition, says Ononuga. And that's all we will, we can take this morning on the front page segment of the program. Once again, welcome to Perspectives Unlimited for today, public holiday in Nigeria. Once again, my name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. You can watch us live on our Facebook page. We're live on Facebook, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. On Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. And also, while you watch us on Facebook, we are also available for you to watch us live on YouTube, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Watch us on YouTube also, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You can listen to us from anywhere in the world on our website, www.wellsradio893.com, www.wellsradio893.com, and also on Radio Guardian. Find us right there with the name Wells Radio 89.3 FM. With me this Easter Monday holiday, Chukwemeka Munachiso is right in the studio. Chukwemeka, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
And happy holiday.
Yeah, same to you, my brother.
Just as we popularly say here, and I know a lot of people say that about Yorubas. They say ekule ekabo. There is eku something. Yeah, do something. You're doing something. And I just said happy holidays, and he just said same to you. And that just reminds me of that popular description of Yoruba people. When we talk about that, and it's so unlike me on a Monday to be dressed like this. I woke up today and I just feel like dressing down, and again because it's public holiday, and we're always at work, really.
Yeah, always.
So one way by which we reflect the holiday is how we dress.
How we dress, yes.
Is how we dress. So good to be back at work. Again, there's a story, Chukwemeka, that I want us to start with today, and that's because Benue State in particular, is known to be the food basket of Nigeria. For those who read history or Nigerian history, and unfortunately some of the books that carry this very strong history of our nation, some of them are not even on the bookshelf anymore. They're out of print. But if you're privileged to, I've been able to grab any of them. Benue is very significant when it comes to feeding our nation. And it's sad to see that same Benue State, from according to the Punch on Friday, with the description of Benue not even being able to feed itself. And if Benue cannot feed itself, then is that still the food basket of the nation? And it then reminds me again, when we get Nigeria and then we are called the giant of Africa. The giant of Africa, insecurity. This morning on the Guardian newspaper, we can see Boko Haram, header-farmer conflict, armed banditry, police and Shiite clash, cultism, which is a nationwide threat, Biafra separatists, kidnapping. We can go hunger in the land. We can go on and on and on. The Guardian, did this spotlight on that infographic of key locations in the country, but by zones where geopolitical zones when we separate ourselves. This somehow cut across. Some states might not be directly connected to, but they are under a particular geopolitical zone. So which means that is a thing. And then this headline, despair in Benue, Plateau as killing hit over 284 in 3 months. These are not goats. These are not chickens or, mosquitoes, houseflies. These are human beings, Nigerians, those who marched to the poll in the last election, and, put their thumbs up for their preferred candidate. Maybe some of them may have voted for this ruling government. Maybe, we cannot ascertain. But these people are gone for not any other reason, but for insecurity reason. And amid all of this violence in Plateau and Benue State, there has been claimed that over 100 lives in recent weeks, gone to that. According to the Punch, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is also expected to visit Plateau today, Monday, as part of the federal government effort to stem the tide of attacks, and foster lasting peace in the area. The visit comes days after gunmen, launched that deadly attack on, Bakos and Bassa community in Plateau, attracting outrage and deepening calls for urgent government intervention. Now, confirming the vice president visit, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Yalwada, disclosed during a tour of affected communities in Bassa on Saturday that Shettima was directed by the President, Bola Tinubu, to visit, that community. And, of course, as at Friday, another report stated that the President was, working remotely working remotely as on Friday, and of course directing the vice president to do that visit today. There's this a voice of Senator Pam that Chungyang, I think that's the right pronunciation, that I want us to listen to. And when we listen to that voice of the senator, I'll come back in and then I'll let you take the floor with analysis. Still Perspectives Unlimited this morning. Stay with us. All right, I'll try and get that voice of the senator in. But Chukwemeka, where do we go from here? The food basket of the nation that cannot even feed itself because of insecurity.
It's unfortunate that we are coming back again to begin to talk about all these things, which would have been forgotten if we are serious about building a country. When people play motopark politics, you get this kind of situation we have in our country. The visit of the VP will not in any way stem the tide of attacks. It's just the normal platitude which we have been hearing. Is he going to raise the dead? Is he going to command? Is there any magic wand with him? Look, Ayo, the problem we have in our country is that we are not ready. There are no consequences for bad behavior. Jang, the former governor of Plateau State, he said they know those who are attacking them. The president described it as a communal clash. It's not communal. Because there is no communality between or among people who invaders coming into Bokos and Bassa. They are not living together. They don't have any ancestral claim to the land of Bassa and Bokos. So it's not communal. It becomes communal when there is a central tie to the land of Bokos and Bassa, and they are fighting over it. But these are invaders, savages, coming in with AK-47 and ravaging, and you call it farmers' headers clash or communal. It's not communal. And the moment we begin to run away from the truth, we'll never find solution. Nigeria, look, and I've been saying this repeatedly, that if care is not taken, the ethnic groups will begin to raise their own militia. And that was exactly what T.Y. Danjuma had just said. That people should now, he said it during the time of Buhari, and he re-echoed it again this time around, that Nigerians should not wait for the military to protect them. They should go out and defend themselves.
Self-defense.
Self-defense. And when we go that route, you know what will happen.
We'll talk about that self-defense and that route.
The issue is that, I've said it repeatedly also, that this administration, I have not seen any proactive step taken to stem the tide of insurgency or this banditry. I have not seen. Matawali asked for 50 AP armored career personnel to be given to him. We spent a lot of money on insecurity. Where are the results? These people that are causing this mayhem, who are they? Who is sponsoring them? Are these people above the law of the land? Who has given them the power to carry AK-47 all over the place? They are not spirits. When they murder, where do they run to? You see the selective efficiency of fighting those who were protesting against cyber act in Abuja about 3 weeks ago. Why can't we use the same efficiency to tackle insurgency in the north? And let me tell you, if north is not at peace, the rest of the Nigeria will not be at peace. It is not just visiting the people. The security architecture of our country must be rejigged, and they bring in people. And look, the army should be thoroughly be investigated. Do you know, I read a story that either Bokos or Basa, these people came and attacked a community very close to army formation, and nobody came out to defend these people. So what are you telling me? We have a problem on our hand. Whether it is all about 2027, I don't know. Because this was exactly what happened during Jonathan. Jonathan was taken out of power as a result of this insecurity. Nobody knows. I don't know those who are playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. 200 and something people gone. Not in a time of war. Ayo, I saw Nigeria, I saw the Biafran war. And I didn't see this kind of carnage. I saw it. I was a witness. I didn't see this kind of carnage in a country that we are at peace and yet we are at war. Unless Nigerian government, and Nigerian government has all the instruments of cohesion at their disposal, why are they not using it? Why are they tied? Who tied their hands behind them? Is there any agreement between them and some of these people that are doing this thing? We don't understand, because we need to ask questions. We don't have to wait until it comes to us. Any life lost is a dent on our humanity as a people. So where do we go from? Government must wait. This is not a time to be. Do you know that Bakare said, Tune Bakare said that this administration is risking national uprising, and Kuka described what is going on. Described Nigeria as a national morgue. Imagine. That's exactly what we are. And we are trying to bring in people to come and invest in this space. How can they come, Ayo? If there is one thing this administration must wake up to do, is to tackle insecurity. These people that are killing Nigerians, where are they coming from?
Who are they?
Go and check what happened in Central African Republic. I read recently that a mayor in Ghana, he said, he told the people, if you see any cow on the street, kill it, and the cow will be fed to prisoners. Where are they coming in with cow? We have talked about ranching. Government has created a Ministry of Livestock. Why can we be having appeasement all over the place and people are still dying? Go and check. All these things is about land grabbing, nothing else. Land grabbing. You want to come and stay in a space where you are not. Go to your space. Yes, we are all Nigerians, but where are you coming from? How many of them are documented? How many of them are truly Nigerian? Because when you talk of headers, my father was a farmer, and I used to follow him to farm, and I knew the kind of headers we had then. They will come to greet my father in his farm, and they will never bring in their cattle. Their cattle will go to a space where you have foliages, you have grasses.
So if I get you right, you mean these are not headers?
They are not headers.
They're just hiding under.
Yes. Because the headers we knew we are going with the stick. Who armed them? Who gave them the guns they are using? They are not headers.
Why do headers even need guns in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. Where do they need guns? And why have they not been arrested? Has anybody been arrested for carrying gun? Are they licensed to carry gun? A man called my show sometime. He said he was coming to Ibadan here with cartridges, and they arrested him. This stop and search. He said he spent 8 years in Agodi. 8 years for carrying cartridges. It's not even this normal as a bullet. Cartridges. 8 years. And yet, these people are treated with kid gloves. How do you think it will stop? And they are making a hell of money. When people are making money from something, it will never go out of business. It's pure industry. Pure industry. And there are a lot of complicity in it. And there are a lot of people, there are a lot of stakeholders. And they are feeding on blood of Nigerians. And we have a government elected by the people, supposedly, And yet, nothing is being done to what is the essence of having a government? Is it not to safeguard the lives and properties of people? And yet, how do you go to Boko, Ambassa, or Benue and be telling them VP has gone there to what is he visiting them for?
It's going there today.
Wait, let me what he will say. We will bring them to book. That's the normal thing they will say.
Let's look at what we have here from Theophilus Danjuma, retired, speaking at a public function in his hometown in Taraba State. Danjuma reiterated a warning he gave back 5 years ago.
Yes, he said it.
Arguing that relying solely on the government security forces is no longer realistic. The warning I gave years ago remains valid. Nigerians must rise and defend themselves before these bandits overrun the entire country, he said. When we talk about self-defense,
it's anarchy. It's a call for anarchy. We are marching on the road to Kigali. You know what happened in Kigali in Rwanda? When they had ethnic militias all over the place, and it becomes free for all. And we have a government looking at it about to happen, and you are not doing anything to send these savages. They are savages. I don't regard them as human beings. Go and see what they did in Ondo State. I saw a picture of what they did in Bassa. A child of 7 years, you use machete to cut her head off. Are you a normal human being? You are not. And the state refused to deal with you. And you enter the bush, and some people are going there to tell us the normal thing. If T.Y. Danjuma he has said it 5 years ago, and he's still saying it. Imagine if all of us, imagine all the ethnic groups begin to have their own militias. Will there be a country? There will not be a country. We will be talking about 2027. We won't be talking about 2027. We will be talking about our presidency. Everybody will be running for his own life. And that is where we are descending. And people are now calling for so many things now, calling on the federal government to do something quickly, because we cannot continue to lose lives when we are not in a war. Are we in war? Is Nigeria fighting any? We are not. With these people, who gave them the gun in the first place? Who gave them the gun? Where are they coming from? Must you use your business to destroy other people? That's the question. Everybody is keeping quiet.
But let me get your thought on self-defense in particular. It's obvious that there's a big breakdown of law and order in the land, especially up north, and it's becoming more concerning. For you, do you think self-defense as recommended by, of course, a retired military man is the way to go?
Look, you see why they are running.
Because if you look at communities now have Olode and all of that, is that not even already?
Olode is not even the issue. If you see these people, they are cowards. Absolutely cowards. You know why I say they are cowards? It's because Nigerians are not standing up to them. That's why they enter villages. If they know that you enter a village and men there will likely confront you, they won't enter it. Do you know what I'm saying? They know that when I will tell you what happened during the Babangida regime, when there was crisis in the north. You know, it was always happening in Kanu. And the Igbos rose up to defend themselves. Do you know how it stopped? And after that war, that was when Babangida came up, said people should submit their firearms. People didn't submit their firearms. So you know people should submit. Why didn't these people submit their own firearms? So they rose up and fought back. In Sabongari, in all the areas where Igbos are domiciled, they fought back. They gave them a good run for their bloodletting, and it didn't stopped.
You know what? Let's take a quick break.
If you enter a community and you know that you are likely going to be confronted, you will think twice.
Okay, I'll come to that, and maybe we'll talk about the makeup of Nigerians. Are we quiet people, gentle people, and how quiet can we be, even on the face of this bloodshedding and destruction of our land, so to say? We'll take a break. When we come back, we look at more stories, and of course, we finalize this and also open the phone lines so you can share your perspective with us. Stay with us.
Wells Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
That Gele Chick, in collaboration with
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, brings you 2 days advanced Gele training featuring Mr. T. Gele, BJ Gele, and that Gele Chick.
date 23rd to 24th April 2025.
Venue, Wells Radio Broadcasting House, Alafin Avenue, Oliole Estate, Ibadan. Time, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Daily.
Registration fee, 20,000 naira only.
For inquiries, call 070-8447-7686 or 070-4523-8936.
Be a professional Gele artist today and earn your financial freedom. Remember, knowledge is power. This training is supported by Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
To restore calm and strengthen vigilance, I hereby announce the following measures effective Wednesday, April 16th. Night grazing of cattle is strictly prohibited. Transportation of cattle by vehicle is banned after 7 p.m. The use of motorcycles is restricted from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. across the state until further notice. We're also activating community-based response systems. I urge the traditional leaders and youth associations to reactivate local vigilante groups and organize night patrols in coordination with the security agencies. We must protect our communities while upholding the rule of law. Furthermore, I have mandated the newly inaugurated Interreligious Council to begin immediate engagement with all stakeholders to address the deeper issues surrounding these attacks. I shall also be appointing a special envoy on peace to lead grassroots consultations and intelligence coordination. A fact-finding committee comprising respected independent voices.
The attack, this is something I get almost all the time. And this particular attack is similar to the rest of the attacks and what it's all about. In fact, if you asked, you will not even get a very good answer. Reason is because they have their own plan, what we call systematic way of trying to create fear. Just as I was when in the real scene, the villagers was telling us they hear real Fulfulde and they speak fluent English. So that means that there are people that are not, even within the Fulani, we know are some people that came from somewhere. And it is very sad. The real Fulani that are close to them are not that type that came. And the worst part of it, you will not even see them again. You wonder where they entered. You look for them, they vanished, which is very painful.
Welcome back to the program, Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You look for them, they vanish. That's coming from Senator Pam. This happened in his senatorial district. And of course, the governor also, gave out a statement. And my major concern is with the security architecture as we speak, especially in the state, where the police is, federal and not state. In fact, there's this story this morning on one of the dailies that says state police off agenda as NEC meets on Thursday. But the governor then said something here. We must protect our community and embrace the rule of law. And now, if, Danjuma is, recommending self-defense now, how do we uphold the rule of law, even in the face of self-defense?
Let me say something here. According to the video, the man said, you look for them, you don't see them. The state has not looked for them. When the Nigerian state begins to look for them, they will see them. So the state is not looking for them. The people don't have what it takes to see them or to look for them. The state, Nigerian state, has not deemed it fit to look for them. That's why they are not seen. You understand? And that goes to show that these perpetrators are coming in from somewhere. And Jang said they know them. So it's not a question of being spiritual. They are spirit. They are human beings. When Nigerian state is responsible enough to wake up and begin to look for them, they will get them. You understand? And they call for self-defense. Like, there is no way people will defend themselves within the ambits of the law. Because when we resort to self-defense, what it means is that the law has broken down. Is every man now for himself. You understand? So the most important thing now is for the state to come in right now and nip in the bud an attempt by people to go the way of self-defense. Because if it starts, you can't control it. It will snowball into something, because it's like a mob. A mob has no brain. A mob will descend on somebody. It is after they have killed you, they now discover that, oh, this is an innocent person. When it becomes communal thing, ethnic militia, even you may wearing this kind of thing you are wearing to enter into some community, you become a suspect. And they will hack the person down, even without asking question. You understand? And the Nigerian state must wake up right now and do the needful. And let me tell you something. If they scatter this space, I don't think there's any neighboring country that will accommodate Nigerians. I don't think. And
why? Why did you say that?
We will overwhelm any country that we enter as refugees. We will overwhelm that country. So in order to stop this thing that is brewing right now, this administration must wake. It's not a question of attacking people who just give a constructive criticism. It's not a question of attacking. Get up and do the needful. Stop this. Let it be one thing you have done as an administration. Let Nigerians sleep with their two eyes closed. Let the north stop bleeding. Let every part of this country be at peace. Look at the southeast. Look at what is going on. You went there to go and recruit as a military. That the quota allocated to them, they are not. They have abandoned. How can they? They can't. They shun military recruitment for many reasons known to them. And over there, they know that. Look, let me tell you something, Ayo. I don't know whether you listened to what Oti said, about these headers. Oti said, if the government does not wake up, he will unleash his own destiny against them. Where can you wander into another man's? I have been to other countries, and the first thing they will tell you, don't have any brush with the law. But these people will come in here and even kill our people, and government will only be offering condolences, and they will still come back again because they know that this is a country where you can go and do whatever you like. Have you seen a Chinese man on a viral video giving money to our policemen? Nigeria has been degraded, and we have lost our dignity as a people. You didn't see that video? A Chinese man giving our policemen, we are standing before him. He was giving them money. Can that happen in China? Can it happen? You are degrading a country because we are degraded by policies that have hacked into our memory and reduce everybody to nothing. That's not how to run a country.
Let's open the phone lines so our listener at home can also join the conversation this morning as regards the killing in Benue and in Plateau, which is still a big story in Nigeria today. 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, or 0915-333-4893. I'll take the numbers again, 0916-893-1000 or 0916-893-2000, or you can call 0915-333-4893. You can also drop your comment on our Facebook page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. You find a live video right there. You can see Chukwemeka and I. Drop your comment right beneath the video. And of course, you can be sure that we will definitely, read your comment out loud right here in the studio. Moving on, let's take politics. This big story this morning on the Vanguard. 2027 presidency, no candidate can win without the North, says Bala Ahmed. The former special advisor on political matters to President Bola Tinubu, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, has declared that no politician could win the presidency in 2027 without the support of the North. Speaking in a video interview in Kaduna over the weekend, Baba Ahmed, who appeared alongside Professor Usman Yusuf, the former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme NHIS, emphasized that the North would soon define its political direction. He said, in the next 6 months, the North will decide where it stands. If the rest of the country wants to join us, fine. If not, we will go our own way. One thing is clear, nobody can become president of Nigeria without the Northern support, he explained. He lamented that the state of the North and urged Northerners to resist divisive and deceptive politicians ahead of the next general election. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? All right. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is George. I'm calling you from Ologweru.
George from Ologweru. Good morning, George.
Yes. You see, we have been shouting. We have been talking about this administration not taking the right action against what is happening. Now, people are talking of self-defense. By the time we start defending ourselves, you will see that the state, those who fail to attack the issues we are shouting on, will be the ones to be arresting those who are defending themselves. This government is not doing anything. They should tell us, if they are not ready to govern Nigeria, they should leave that place. Let those who know how to govern the people to come in to govern Nigeria. Because if we continue this way, like Kukumeka has just rightly said, if Nigerians are pushed to the wall and they start fighting themselves, they will be rioting everywhere. And people will be running away out of this country. And there's no nation, there's none of the countries around us here that can accommodate Nigeria. You remember what happened to Ghana when all their people deserted the whole country. And that is why we send them back and we have this saying of Ghana must go. They will drive us out and then you see people will just be dying anyhow. This administration is not ready to rule Nigeria. If they cannot do it, they should please silently put that office. Thank you.
Thank you so much, George from Ologweru, Chukwemeka. That's George's opinion. Let's talk about this. No presidency, no candidate can win without.
Let me tell you something.
Baba
Baba Ahmed has always been making arrogant statements. Nobody can be president without even the Southwest. Nobody can be president without even the Southeast participating. You understand? If what that means is that they determine who becomes president, they don't. If the Southwest decides not to participate in the election, you understand? You can't force it. Every section of this country is very, very important. Very, very important. The issue why they are saying these things right now is that, look, because he said this thing about some years ago that they have the numbers. Yes, you have the numbers, but the question is, what are the numbers bringing? That's one question. Again, every part of this country is very, very. Do you know that the last general election, the Southeast almost boycotted it, and that is the danger where we are going to now. They almost boycotted it until some people went down to the Southeast and began to tell them to take part in the election, and that's why they came out. They almost boycotted it, and when they boycott it, there's no election because they are still part of this country. If any section of the country decides not to take part in the election, you can't have the presidency. You can't have the president. So there's in every section of the country is very important. So don't arrogate to yourself the power to make and to make. No, every section of this country it has the power to choose or not to choose. So it's not just the North. Even if the whole North votes for a particular candidate and the Southwest, Southeast, and Southwest didn't vote, the person cannot be declared the president. So it's not just the North. Every section of this country is important. He should not be so arrogant in his statement. He has been saying that thing for a very long time. So why is he saying it now that he has left the present administration? Because he was there before, nobody heard about him. Now he's talking that you can't become president without the North. You can't become president without the South, or without the Southwest or Southeast also, or the North Central. Every region is highly important, not just the North. And what is even the North?
The numbers.
The numbers. That is it. So that number, and that is where that's why we can never get it right when it comes to democracy. These people are not. When you have political illiterates determining who governs you, you get the kind of leadership we have. A democracy cannot thrive in a largely illiterate society. Go and read what Socrates as he wrote about democracy. It can't thrive. It thrives in an atmosphere where people are literate enough to make a choice. He likened democracy in an illiterate environment to putting people in a ship and no rudder, no compass, and let them begin to sail. They can land at anywhere. That is the problem we have in this country. Illiteracy and democracy are not bedfellows. Because you must be literate enough to know that when they give you grounded pepper and a cup of rice, in order for you to vote, you will know that you are mortgaging 4 years. A literate person will not do that. But when we are not to win from religion and ethnicity that has beclouded our reasoning, we go that route every year that we want to do election. That somebody is Thomas or John or Peter, me as a Christian does not mean that we vote for you when I know that you are not going there to know what to do. But that is where they're always saying the North has this thing. We go because now we are a Muslim ticket. How far have we gone? When they touted it, Muslim ticket, this and that, go and check what El-Rufai said about Muslim ticket. Now we are Muslim ticket and look at the problems we have. It's not about religion. That's why illiteracy and democracy can never, they can't mix. It's like water and kerosene. But we are when he says the North, over there you don't have the right to decide on who you vote for. Down here, people can say, in a family, you see people voting differently. Yeah. But over there is a head mentality. Oh, go and vote for this. Now, the same vehemence and the same way you used to tell people in prayer houses, go and vote for so and so person, it will defend that. Why not educate them? Let them know their rights, their left, not their right. That's when we have democracy that is working. Our democracy will never work as far as a large percentage of Nigerians don't even know their left nor their right. They can't work.
0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, 0915-333-4-893. Would like to, have your thoughts there. Bala Ahmed says, no politician will win presidency without Northern support. Let's get your own perspective in on that story. It's a big deal in Nigeria today, and of course, Chukwuemeka's reaction. All right.
You see, look at what we have now. Look at what Northern support has given to Nigeria. This is where we are. Yes, this is Muslim ticket. I keep asking people, Shebi, when this, oh no, if we have Muslim ticket things, look at where we are. Has it solved the problem of insurgency? No. Look at where Northern support has brought us. That is it. That is because if you want people to listen to you and see you as a responsible person, the support you are giving, what has it accrued to us? What has it brought us? Pain, suffering, bloodshed. That is Northern support. That's what we are enjoying right now. Northern support. And we are going again for another Northern support.
All right, let's move on to this story on the Punch. Presidency pushes back as Bakari Kuka criticizes Tinubu's policies. The former presidential aspirant and the presiding overseer of the Lagos-based Global Community Citadel Church, Pastor Tunde Bakari, has warned that under President Bola Tinubu, Nigeria risks a popular uprising unless the administration changes course on security and the economy. Addressing worshippers during the Easter State of the Nation broadcast in Ikeja, the former APC presidential aspirant said the country is being driven towards the brink amid a fresh wave of killing in Plateau, Benue, and in Enugu State. Bakari, explained further there, giving his own reaction, and also joining Bakari to also give that reaction is Bishop Kuka, who criticized the president for the persistent insecurity, referencing the rise in kidnappings and the entrenchment of violence across communities, as well as the socio-economic hardship worsened by the fuel subsidy removal. He said here, Mr. President, please bring us down from this painful cross of hunger. The cleric pleaded, urging the president to make food security a fundamental human right. He pointed fingers at the political actors who in the past allegedly imported violence as a tool for political gains. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is George calling back.
All right, Mr. George, thank you so much.
Are we really supposed to be discussing election and the zone that's supposed to even win the election or to support those who can make any president to be brought up? We're not supposed to be discussing it now. Because we are really in a real problem now. People are being killed. The president is not on seat. And they are not bringing any solution to the problem that is happening to the people. Is it inside this killing that we are going to be discussing election? Is it this one that will bring us to know who is going to win the election? They should do the right thing. They should stabilize the country before we start talking about the election. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George. Let's stabilize the country before we start talking about election. Tunde Bakare is speaking. Bishop Kuka, is also saying something. These are key figures in Nigeria. They are not new to, making statements. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, good morning, Mr. Gbenga from Akwata.
Like what Mr. George said, he's not talking about election. 2027 is far. For Nigeria, our politicians are much more powerful. They are much more powerful. I'm giving us to governance. You won't be surprised that when people are even managing for 2031 presidential election, I'm telling you, they are fathers that just are only happening in Nigeria. And like what Critical Council said, was looking at it. You know what I did? I just clicked up and I started giving you the stuff. We are looking for one.
Hello, are you there? Hello, Mr. Gbenga. Oh, we lost that call. Please do call us back. Mr. Gbenga, Chukwemeka.
You see, when Mr. Tunde Bakare was talking of national uprising against the current administration, it will never happen. Let me tell you something. There's politics of protest in our country. You see, why it will not happen is that every area in this country has reason that will bring them out to the street. They have. And what will bring an average northerner to protest? This is the first time they're even protesting over hunger or something. Is religion. When it dangles the carrot of religion, they can go haywire and do unthinkable. The average somebody from the southeast, he won't protest against hunger. He won't protest against bad administration. Remember that during the end bad governance, they didn't come out. The zone was very quiet. What will bring an average southeasterner to the street is protest for self-determination. The people that can easily come out for hardship, to protest against hardship, are the southwesterners. And because Tinubu is from this part of town, they will never come out.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Once again.
All right, Mr. Benga, yeah. Let's have you.
So I said, kudos to Tunde Bakare yesterday, who hit the nail on the head. He spoke truth to power. And that's the kind of people that we want in this country. People that will always come on board and tell this and say the thing, talk about what is happening in the country exactly the way it is, and not those that will be hiding under one finger. Mr. Tunde Bakare said one thing yesterday that caught my attention as well. He said, and I quote, he said the legislature, the legislative and the executive, he said the power has gotten much of them such that they cannot even do the needful for Nigerians. And that statement is highly powerful, and that is the way it is. And on the issue of the insecurity in the land, I think we have been clamoring for state police, and we have benefit of state police. One of the benefits of state police is that whenever we have an escalating issue, state police will always have a first-hand information, and they will always be much closer to the venue where we are having an escalating issue. That is one of the advantages of state police. Before they could call for other security agencies to come and team up with them. See, like I said last week, if Mr. President does not give a kind of strong, what do you call it now? A kind of strong push to our security agencies to curtail the excesses of insecurity in some of those other states. What happened the previous week? We just do a child's play. God forbid. May God forbid. See, we need the proactiveness of Mr. President, the governors, the local government chairman, and all security agencies in curtailing the excesses of those bandits. Because security, if Mr. President got everything right in his administration, if he got everything 100% right, and if he's missing out in the security issue, if it is called low, we are recording more casualties. I'm telling you, people will not look at the good things the president is doing. They'll be looking at the security challenges that we're having in the country. So may God help Mr. President to stay through these hard times. Thank you very much, and God bless your station.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga, for your perspective this morning.
So, as I was saying, if Tinubu is not from this part of town, let's assume that it was Atiku or P2B that is in power and these things are happening. The Nigeria would have been recording daily protests every day. There would have been daily protests. You understand? But because he's from here, so people are not the Southwest is the base of traditional protesters. That's why it appears that nothing is happening right now. And that's why I said there is no risk of national uprising. It can't happen. It can't. If you it will never happen, because unless he's not from this part of town, it would have happened a long time ago. But as far as he's here, it can't happen, because these are people that come out to the street that can protest as a result of hardship on economy. Like I told you, the Southeasterners will only come out when it has to do with agitation for self-determination. They can't come out for hardship.
But how did each of the zones get to this? That's
the coloration. If you are a student of political history, you will understand how each zone reasons. What will bring an average northerner to the street is religion. What will bring a Southwesterner to the street? Economy, hardship. Somebody from the Southeast will never come out, because if you like self-fuel 2000, he will say buy it. During the end battle governance, they didn't come out. And people were saying, well, they can't come out because they've been in the trenches for years. So they are used to it. It is the Southwest here that are not used to that kind of thing. And they are the people that will come out to be in the forefront of agitation for because of economy and hardship. And now because this man is one of our own, they won't come out. So that's why there's no risk of national uprising in Nigeria. It can't happen.
All right, let's take a final story this morning. Interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from bank loans. 9 Nigerian banks rank in a combined interest income of 14.26 in 2024, an analysis of audited financial report of financial institution. In between this economic, challenges.
You know why it's happening?
Banks,
yes,
are still profiting in between the economic pressure.
And let me tell you why it's happening. Why it's happening is that people are looking for money. That was why even something like CBEX thrived. You understand? People are looking for money.
And several other Ponzi schemes.
People are looking for money to pay school fees, pay house rent, pay one thing. There's no money. You understand? So that's why some of these banks are very, very happy. This is their time. You understand? They make a lot of money. If something that looks like CBEX comes out today, Nigerians will see go, because they will tell you that something must kill man. You understand?
Oh wow!
and it's the situation. It's the poverty in the land. The poverty is endemic, and it's a typhoon. So people are looking for. We must eat. Nigerians are not borrowing. What are you investing in? So many people are borrowing to eat. And that's not the way to. If you take a loan or borrow anything, let it be for investment. Where are they investing? They are investing in their stomach. So, and that is why I went to a bank sometime. I wouldn't tell you the name of the bank. I needed some this thing. And the woman told me, it's an elderly woman. He said, son, come, my son. We don't give money out again to even our customers. Say, because a lot of our monies are outside and they're not coming in.
They're not coming in.
They borrow and they won't pay. And when you take them to the police, that's the end of the story.
It is well. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Ayo. God save Nigeria.
Amen. God bless Nigeria. That's all we can take this morning. Sam Adelere is back. Jog to the microphone quickly. Come jog to the mic.
See the way he's looking. Like you will tell us where you went to.
He's looking overfed. Sam, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ayo Emmanuel.
Too many questions about whether you have jackpa, but now it's obvious that you have jackpada. Okay. How are you, by the way?
I'm feeling.
You are shining. Feels like you fell into a keg of oil.
Well, I'm speechless.
All right, good to have you back. AM Sports with Sam Adelere will be live in a moment. God bless you.